The honourable member for Thornhill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There are certain days in history when the world stops and listens, and everyone remembers where they were when they heard the tragic news of what happened that day. And for some of my colleagues, it may be the day that John F. Kennedy was assassinated. For others, it may be when Princess Diana died, or 9/11. Those days, however, feel far away from our lives, and they are, in part, they are a product of shock that invoke the need for answers to explain the circumstances around those days. Those events felt far away, but in some way resembled the day that we learned of the death of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. One of those moments in history that many will never forget. But for many Canadians, her passing didn't feel far away, though it might have been in terms of physical distance. To many of us, it felt closer. Like those other tragic events of years past, the passing of our late Queen, Queen of Canada, will be remembered because we lost more than a person. We lost part of an idea. We lost a symbol. We lost someone that we considered our own. When the news came of her passing, I felt in a sense like I would with the passing of someone I knew, someone who was present, like a family member, distant or close, whose quiet and constant company was simply always there. But of course, I'm not related to the Queen. I've never even met her. Neither did millions of other Canadians who now grieve alongside us today. But we felt like the Queen was like family because we saw family in her. Like family, she was there at the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows, supporting us with steadfast love and encouragement. She represented not who we were, but who we could be. She wanted us to be the best versions of ourselves. I truly believe that. Like family, she taught us about what it meant to serve others. She lived a life of selfless devotion, not only to those she loved, but for many who have never met her, who never knew her. She encouraged tolerance and respect and understanding, the things that we strive to be. Like family, she was always there for us, whether we realized it or not. All the things changing today, our money, our legal system, our armed forces, even Parliament itself, are evidence of just how many ways she touched our lives. And sometimes, like many of our own family members, we even took that for granted. She was the only sovereign that most Canadians ever knew. Although as we seem to grow older over the years, the Queen seemed trapped in time. The tributes that she received over many jubilees and anniversaries showed us that we knew what we had. The truth is we just never think we'd lose it. It's no secret that those who know me know of my respect of the monarchy, and it's frankly, it's rooted in tradition for this institution and respect for this institution. Our monarchy separates politics from service and popularity from the institutions. And after nearly a year in this place, I've never been more convinced that unity may be a product of the monarchy and not any political head of government. It's consistent and it forces a respect, and without it, that may not always be upheld. Her late Majesty toured this country more than 20 times over 70 years, showing an extraordinary dedication for our people and our nation. She has a special place in the hearts of many in my own community, even more so than most across the country would know. Let me tell you why. She was the first female monarch of the royal family to be an active duty member of the British Armed Forces, serving as a mechanic during the Second World War. She not only helped the empire by using her hands, but she also helped by using her heart. She was a quiet, steadfast figure of optimism and perseverance, encouraging people to keep calm and carry on. She was a symbol that someday, somehow, things would get better, even if we didn't know how or when. She inspired a nation trapped in the darkest days to overcome and overturn the Nazi regime in Europe. And in doing so, she helped liberate millions trapped in concentration camps across the continent, whose descendants would grow up to be my friends, my family, my constituents. Her service didn't stop there. It speaks volumes about the Queen's character that she continued to hear stories of survivors through the 70 years as a monarch. It would have been easy to forget these individuals, as many contemporary leaders did, but she took it upon herself as a leader to bring closure and healing to deeply scarred lives. She used her position of privilege to educate others about what a dark period in history, and so personified the mantra that we, the living, try to personify every day: never again. There is a royal tradition that has been passed down over centuries. The monarch is never late. And as a rule, that's how it was with the Queen. And on January 27th, 2005, she met with survivors of the 60th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. And yet, when the time ran out, there was still many in a large group that had yet to meet her. Her Majesty, instead of leaving, stayed, giving each survivor her undivided and deliberate focus. One of the Queen's attendants remarked to the late Rabbi Lord Sachs, present that day, that he had never seen her stay so late after the time had come for her to go and break such a hallowed custom. We are extremely fortunate to have witnessed Queen Elizabeth II dedicate over 7 decades, more than a lifetime for many, to the cause of our Commonwealth and the betterment of our country. Although the Queen may have passed, the spirit and joy and the feeling of love that she left with millions will never die. And the legacy of her service will live on forever in the hearts of many grateful Canadians, including this member. And as we look to the future, I continue to believe that the monarchy is an important check to constitutional power being given to any bureaucracy or any government of the day. It is a humbling reminder that in this place, we work on behalf of people. And the person who is entrusted with that role is reminded of the ideals and the traditions that were here long before any of us. And with that, I offer my deepest condolences to the royal family and to all of the people of the Commonwealth as they mourn the loss of Her late Majesty. God rest the Queen, and finally, God save the King.